have you been pleased by the reaction that the audiences have been giving for this film? Because I mean, obviously, but personally, it's like the speech itself. I may have been crying the whole time, and so it's a very kind of honest, emotional reaction to it, and those are really hard to come by. So when you're making the film, do you know that of the gem that you have on hand, or what is it about this film that you feel that maybe is really resonating with people?
I don't know. I think it's because it's a very personal movie. I mean, it's personal to the writer because the writer was born in 1937. He had a stammer as a young boy, and he used to listen to King George VI on the radio to inspire him that if the king could get over his stammer, so could he. So the king was his boyhood role model and his inspiration. It's personal to me because I'm the son of an Australian mother and an English father, and I was brought up in London. And one of the themes of my childhood was my Aussie mum, unpacking some of the effects on my dad of his traditional, brutal boarding school 1940s upbringing. I mean, he was like a generation of men. It was tough. It was a tough period to grow up if you're from that kind of background. So that kind of meeting of cultures of the Aussie and the English culture I grew up in. So for me, I think it's my most personal film. And then I think it's the experience of making it. Jeffrey, Colin, and I were worked very intimately together, and there was a lot of trust between each other when we started shooting. And therefore, I think the choices that were made were very personal. And then also, the film doesn't. I hope it doesn't do the easy choices. I mean, the script I started with, he's cured at the end. I mean, it's a Hollywood film. He has no stammer, and it's like, I can walk. It's that one of those movies. But but we listen to the real speech, which you can hear, and the guy's, there's long silences. He's still clearly struggling, and I thought, well, how much more interesting to have that battle still going on even in the final scene, and it's decisions like that I think mean that it's not. I don't know. There's no easy manipulations going on. The characters involved in a real struggle was authentic, and therefore I think it does move people a lot more because they know they're not being cheated to get an emotional reaction.
There's so much buzz. You've hit a point. In the season, and so. What is your take on this next couple of months that is going to happen for you? And are you prepared for? I mean, and has your experience in the past kind of set you up for the next couple of months?
Well, I'm thrilled by the reaction. I'm overwhelmed by it and hugely grateful. And all I hope is that it'll get more people out to see the movie because the film really makes you laugh and it really makes you cry and it's transportive and it's got a lot of compassion. I hope it's got a lot of heart. And that for me is movie going, and it's a great film to see in a big room with a lot of people. So it is better to see it in a big room with a lot of people than alone at home with a DVD because it's such an audience participation movie. I mean, the Toronto premiere last night. When he gets through one of his speeches, the audience burst out in applause. I mean, 2,000 people were clapping within a film. I've never seen that. Whether one of my films or anyone else's films, to have that kind of reaction. So if the buzz brings the film to more people and means more people have a good 2 hours watching it, then that's great.